about tomorrow being April 1st, the day, of course, the rent is due. This is the first of the month we've had since this crisis really escalated. What are the implications of that for small businesses, for homeowners, and all the people who are worried now about making those payments?
They're massive across the board. While people at home, individuals and small businesses, might watch our programs and see headlines with members of Congress and the president touting how great the CARES Act is, $2 trillion, and it is. But of those $2 trillion, no checks have been cut. Talk to anyone in New York State. Right? People trying to file for unemployment right now, it's a two-step process. First, you've got to go online. These websites are crashing over and over. Then you've got to make a phone call, and the lines are busy. And whether you're talking about New York, California, Connecticut, take your pick. These governors are saying we are frantically trying to hire retired employees that we used to have. We're staffing up to solve for this, but it hasn't been solved yet. And those small business loans that people are so excited about, those paycheck protection loans, which are essentially these short-term emergency loans for businesses to get them through this period and potentially have them completely forgiven. Well, they're not even set up yet, and you can only get one through your own bank. Those 1,800 banks working with the SBA, they don't even know the details yet. So there's a huge amount of lag time, and bills are due tomorrow. Now, you could call your landlord, you can call your credit card company and try to work something out, but there hasn't been a federally mandated national economic holiday. We have to pay our bills tomorrow, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah, Steph, I'm thinking about all those small businesses that anyone watching this show has been frequenting all their lives, that little restaurant or the bagel place in Jersey or the dry cleaner, who are struggling right now and looking for some federal help and wondering what life is going to be like on the other side of this crisis. What is the best hope for that restaurant that's got a sign on its door that says, we're closed for now, but we'll be back soon, we hope? There's a lot of heaviness in that we hope part of the statement.
Well, twofold. I mean, these loan programs are expansive. They could be hugely helpful, but they're not there yet. And people need to pay their bills immediately. Now, if you remember when the president spoke on Sunday, he was saying that he spoke to Wolfgang Puck and he spoke to Daniel Boulud. And he's like, we're going to bring things back to the way they used to be. People are going to be able to deduct those things, expense them. OK, if what the president is talking about, rules where you can entertain people, where companies can, and spend more than $100, well, that would impact huge, fancy restaurants. But the mom and pop establishments that you're talking about, when you think about all those people who are losing their retail jobs, these problems are real and they're not going to be solved overnight. And one other point I want to make is when the president signed that bill into law, he added a statement which basically makes things more hazy around corporate oversight. Remember when there was that pushback that Steve Mnuchin, Treasury Secretary, was going to have that $500 billion essentially slush fund to decide which corporation, which industry they were going to bail out. And then they said, well, we're going to put an inspector general in and we're going to have real oversight. Well, the president had an additional signing statement that basically said, I'm signing this bill, but there's some elements in here that are either unconstitutional or they infringe on my executive power, and I'm not down with that. So while Congress does have some level of oversight, they don't have subpoena power. And I can tell you behind the scenes, every CEO in this country is knocking on Steve Mnuchin's door saying, please, sir, may I have some more? And right now, he is in a position to be a corporate kingmaker.